hello, 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 hello. What's going on, people? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hear me? Dorme boo. Dorme boo. What's happening, people? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Sorry for the lateness. I was just finishing up doing a little bit of editing lastminute.com of the recent Taz episode. It should be a barnstormer. It's totaling up to like 3 hours in length. Oh my god. So I'm having that render and export as we speak. You know, always on the fucking go. You know how it is. So we're back in the sector. Today's show won't be super long, unfortunately, because I do have some plans for the weekend, so I can't be on here all the time. But we will get a nice little hour or so of streaming, of talking about comedians, pointing and laughing at them, and just keying and LOLing with each other in the stream chat. You know how it is, guys. You know how it is. Big up Young Old Vibes. Big up AZ. Big up Uche. What's good? Uche, darling, you know we don't kiss and tell around here, baby. You know we don't kiss and tell around here. I took it. Big up Brendan Murray, Wagwan. Big up Xavier. Big up Xavier. Wagwan Koila, my G, my Crody, Wagwan, brother. F, I see you here. Everybody checking in, 1213. Big up everybody. Appreciate all of you for hanging out with me. You feel me? Appreciate all of you hanging out. Big up Rick Troller in Japan. Oh, I didn't see you there. What's happening? Hope you're well. Tony FM, what's good? Thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out. Always appreciated. Never fucking expected. Thank you for joining. So, something to talk about. Some things to go through. Something to talk about. Something to go through. Watch you 5 many hours still here. Best show on YouTube. Thank you so much, Tony FM. I appreciate you, mate. But I'm only one part of the show. You guys also make it. You feel me? It's a collaboration of sorts. I come on stream, I press start stream, but you guys also contribute to it with the non-stop lols. So keep on lolling, and I'll keep on streaming. Cool. Let's move on to the show. One thing to talk about, number one. Fucking Alex Jones. I have a theory. Non-stop streaming is actually destructive. It's not good for you. Non-stop streaming is destructive and it's not good for you. Because when you stream non-stop, you end up saying things that you don't mean to say, or you end up saying things that you shouldn't say. And I think that's what happened to Alex Jones. Because that Sandy Hook debacle was one of the biggest mistakes of his life. One of the biggest mistakes of this guy's life was that Sandy Hook thing. He just started talking too much. He started feeling too fucking bossy. He started letting his nuts hang too much. He ended up speaking about stuff that he shouldn't have spoken about. And then he paid the ultimate price. They hit him in his pocket. And now they're stripping his assets so they can cover this fucking $1.5 billion debt he has to pay. Essentially, his whole network might go under too. InfoWars might be in jeopardy too, because you'd imagine that's part of his personal assets as well. He is fucked. Rightfully so, don't get me wrong. Rightfully so. You know, saying fucking kids that got slain at a school shooting are crisis actors is fucking insane. So rightfully so. But god damn it, he just streamed too much. That's his issue. He was on stream way too much, and he paid the ultimate price. Reading on the AP News, a federal judge on Friday ordered the liquidation of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones' personal assets, but dismissed the company's separate bankruptcy case, leaving the immediate future of his InfoWars media platform uncertain, as he owes $1.5 billion in tax. Can you imagine owing that kind of money? I remember once when I was when I was in a bad spot back when I was in college or something, I went and got one of those like payday loans when I was in college, right? I was super broke in college, needed money. Went and got a payday loan, and you know, it was probably for like £200. And then it went up to like, I ended up having a debt of like £1,000. So imagine back then, right? £200 to me when I was in like college was like 2,000. So 10,000 must have felt like 100 grand to me. It was just, I didn't know what to do. And I felt like I was drowning, right? And that was £1,000. I eventually paid it off. I went on a payment plan and I paid it all off, all well and good, within a couple of months. But could you imagine owing $1.5 billion? I don't know if I could sleep. I don't know if I could sleep. I don't know if I could sleep if I owed that much money. Judge Christopher Lopez approved the converting of Jones' proposed personal bankruptcy reorganization to a liquidation. But Lopez threw out the case of his company, Austin, Texas-based Free Speech Systems. Of course he's got a company, a Texas-based company called Free Speech Systems. Only Alex Jones or Joe Rogan would have a company called that, Free Speech Systems. After failed attempts by Jones to reach an agreement with Sandy Hook families on his proposals to reorganize and keep operating a company while paying them millions of dollars. So essentially, it seems like he refused to do it the right way. You know what I mean? He could have done it the right way, but he refused. So because he refused to do it the right way, now he's having to have all of his assets liquidated. What an idiot. Why couldn't he just get on like a payment plan of sorts? Or siphon off whatever money he makes from, siphon off whatever money he makes from his streams and have that paid the fucking families of Sandy Hook that he besmirched and he's sullied. Why couldn't he just do that? Even to the end, he's still making it so hard for himself. Like, why is he doing this? You're already guilty. No one is going to back you. You owe these people money. You put them through fucking hell. Pay the money and just move on. Like, what is the deal here? It wasn't immediately clear what will happen in the coming weeks to Free Speech Systems, InfoWars parent company, which Jones built into a multi-million-dollar moneymaker over the past 25 years by selling dietary supplements and other products. But both Jones and his lawyers of Sandy Hook families said that they expect InfoWars case to cease operations at some point because of the huge debt. You know what's really funny? There's another conspiracy theory running at the moment, which is good because it's you know, Alex Jones. There's a conspiracy theory at the moment, which I remember hearing from somewhere, that basically said legacy media, mainstream media were upset and didn't like the fact that Alex Jones was building such a massive media empire basically on his own, just streaming basically on his own. Obviously he had guests, but he was getting to a point where he was influenced, especially, you know, before the whole Jan 6 thing. He was influencing so many minds and being, you know, being the kind of the go-to person for a huge part of the population, or even the world, I'd say, not even population of America, I think probably the world, that a lot of legacy media were getting upset that he was, you know, getting that kind of position, getting that sort of authority, having that sort of voice, being the kind of go-to person, the money, the views, all that malarkey. And this is what eventually led to the whole Sandy Hook thing. So almost like it was a very strategic psyop in a way, almost, to kind of take him down, to bring him down a peg, to remind people who's boss, CNN, Fox, all these stuff, because he was kind of a maverick operating on his own, you know, on his own volition. I'm not too sure if I buy it, to be fair, because I still think he was an idiot to say what he said about the Sandy Hook victims and the tragedy itself. I think he just, you know, I wouldn't say he flew too close to the sun. I just think he thought he was untouchable. He could just say whatever the fuck he wanted. And he immediately, you know, obviously he ended up finding out that you could say what you want, but the consequences are pretty dear. So, you know, maybe there's a conspiracy there. Maybe there isn't. Either way, God damn it, man. $1.5 billion. Whew. No wonder he was crying the other day. You know, that clip of him went viral on the internet. No wonder he was fucking crying. No wonder he was fucking crying. Big up Uche. Have you ever seen the video where someone turned Alex Jones rants? Yeah, of course. I've seen most of the memes about him. Of course, it's fucking legendary. It's fucking legendary. It really, really is. But yeah, Alex Jones. Unfortunately, the end is soon coming. The end is soon fucking coming. The end is not soon coming for this young gentleman. Look at what I found on the fucking Twitter space, right? Look at this. Some of you won't like this because this is like, you know, mostly, what do you call it? News concerning black folk. So some of you that watch the stream won't be too happy when I'm covering such things because you like to only cover, you know, the black or the white comedians, right? The Caucasian comedians, as I like to say. So some of you guys won't be too happy about this, but according to Complex, the funniest people on the internet right now, you'll be surprised to see who's on the list. You'll be surprised to see who's on the list for the funniest comedians. You'll be surprised as we scroll down here. Gideon Wallow, you got New York Nay, all of these illustrious big time names, right, that have been put on this fucking list. Oh, this Complex website as well, I fucking hate it. It's always full of fucking background videos and JPEGs and WAVs and whatever else moving on in the background. I fucking despise Complex media website. There's always like a video playing somewhere in the background at the bottom. There's some fucking app. Look, there's always something. See what I mean? An automatic fucking TikTok video. Fuck off. I honestly hate Complex website. It's honestly the bane of my fucking... Actually, you know what? Fuck them to hell. I'm not fucking having them on my screen. Fuck them. I'll just get the fucking picture itself. Get fucked. I hate Complex. I hate it. I hate them with my fucking... all of my fucking heart. Get fucking... As DSP says, get fucked. Get fucked. As DSP would say. I fucking hate Complex so much. Okay, enough. My computer's already starting. Stop. It's not crying as much anymore. Ay, 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 ay. Complex fucking media, you know. Who the fuck you think you are? God almighty. Anyway, I fucking had enough of that. All I wanted to show you anyway, regardless, someone already posted on Friday Kiss over there. I wanted to show you the whole thing, but basically, this is what I wanted to show you guys. So, some of you don't like black people, but there are some cool black people out there, not myself included. And look at this. Look at this. People always say, isn't it funny that everybody that leaves Brendan, anybody that leaves the Bappaverse, anybody that flies free, even if they get fired, whatever happens, anybody that leaves Brendan Schaub's orbit seems to thrive. Their career goes sky high. Brendan could take that as a positive and think, oh my God, I'm a kingmaker, look what I do. But you also have to ask yourself a question if you're Brendan. How comes when people leave my orbit, they become bigger, but they don't become bigger once they're with me? How is that possible? Good example, Malik B, courtesy of Complex, has been voted in the top 10 funniest people on the internet. Now again, it's only Complex, it's not an official award, whatever it may be, blah, blah, blah. But Complex does represent a portion of the interwebs. It does represent some level of media. And the fact that Malik, in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know who the fuck this guy was before he got on the Fire and the Kid. I'd never heard of him. And I'm quite plugged into, you know, the urban stuff, the ethnic stuff. And I've never heard of the guy. He got on T-Fat-K, he did his thing. Him and Brendan obviously didn't get along because Brendan doesn't like black people. He likes Chappelle, and we know what Chappelle is. You know, let's not even go down that route. I love the guy, but you know, you can see why he liked Chappelle and didn't like Malik. And then he got rid of him. And then, you know, he kind of had a bit of a stumbling block. He did that weird thing where he had his podcast and he was like, oh, if the T-Fat-K subreddit guys get me up to 50,000 views or 50,000 subs, I'll spill the dirt on Brendan. Then he immediately lost everybody. But then I think he did a good job, to be fair. What he did a good job about, he didn't do a permanent BGL. BGL probably went on too much of a anti-Bappa tour. He probably should have just used some of that attention to start his own podcast. Because I always wonders, BGL, why didn't BGL do all those streams airing out Brendan's business on his own YouTube channel? I never understood why he was going on all these other channels, on all these other shows. I get it, they're bigger platforms and stuff, but he should have saved some of the juicier stuff for his own stuff to build up his own stuff. But maybe he doesn't actually want to do a podcast. Maybe he doesn't actually want to do content. Maybe he just prefers to be like an actor doing skits and stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But that was a weird tactic. But either way, I think Malik handled the breakup a lot better because he actually got fired too. Same like BGL, he got fired, but he handled it better because he just, you know, he got his grievances out of the way and then he started with the work. And the thing that he did well also, I think, Also, he didn't try and do another podcast. He just did completely different things, which was the skit stuff. So it wasn't linked to Brendan at all. So he could kind of turn a new leaf. So most likely everyone that kind of likes Malik B now, I think probably don't even remember him on T-Fat-K or don't even know he was on the show. So he's got a completely different audience. So that shows that he's been able to make it, I think, in spite of Brendan's stamp of approval. I don't think Friday the Kid helped him. It probably hurt him. He's got completely different fans, I'd imagine, nowadays. So this is a huge achievement to go from not being that well known, being the butt of the jokes on T-Fat-K, having this weird tension with Brendan on camera, getting fired, having fucking Chappelle basically, you know, turn his back on you because him and Chappelle were boys, and Chappelle basically, you know, started fucking being a bootlicker a little bit and was securing the check. Then he starts another pod with his other friend who is also Brendan's opener guy. That opener guy chooses Brendan over him. So he got dumped by 2 black people. Well, 1, you know, technically. But he got dumped by 2 black people. Chappelle and the other guy. And then he had to go make his own thing. And he did it. And look at him now. He's in the top 10 funniest people on the internet culture complex. This award is like, you know, it's similar to getting a comedy Grammy, really, you know, nowadays. So big up big up Malik B. The really sad thing about this thing is because I've worked in media in the past, and some of you guys might have worked in media in the past, you would know that these type of things that they do, they're only for engagement. They don't actually care about who's the best or not. This is just a way to get engagement on your site. It's a kind of a quote unquote organic way to get engagement because you don't have to, you know, interview anybody, ask anyone's permission. You just like, you know, you're gathering information yourself. You write an article, you're linking some big names on the article, and you're hoping people then click on your website, watch your ads, and then that allows you to make more money. You know, so it's not really anything, but you know, still credit to them, credit to him. It's good to see, especially considering how everybody, nearly everybody, as we've seen now with Malik B, even Kat is the same thing. George is the same thing. He's glowing up. He's doing his thing, working for that podcast that he's on. Even Shrimp in a way has glowed up since he left Brendan. Shrimp is fucking doing stand up. You know what I mean? And clearly starting to like make his way there. It's not good. I don't really like it personally, but at least he's trying. At least he's getting up and doing sports. You know, he's probably selling out. Shrimp is probably selling more tickets doing stand up than Brendan ever did at the moment. Can you imagine? It's honestly wild how many people succeed as soon as they leave Brendan's orbit. It's fucking insane. It's like a reverse Brendan effect, isn't it? It's like instead of like him helping you become famous, once you leave his orbit, he helps you become famous, but so much so that you lap him and you just like far exceed whatever he's doing. It's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. Congrats to Malik B. Congrats Malik B. Next clip here. This is a random one, and I'm sure some of you guys won't give a fuck, but for my people out there that like No Jumper related subreddit news, this is concerning AD from the illustrious podcast Community, former host of No Jumper. I heard this clip and I was thinking to myself, you've already lost, mate. Courtesy of the No Jumper subreddit, the title of the clip is Pun Trying to Take Over. Listen to AD from Community. Listen to this clip of AD speaking, and I'm going to give you my opinion on the other side. Come on, let's zoom in. There you go. Boom. Let's play this clip of AD talking. Pun trying to take over. Oops, let's get it unmuted.
Pun had told me he's release. I got to get back in the studio. You know what's crazy too? Pun had told me, he told me yesterday, he was like, hey, I think that we should take off a month from Community or maybe 2 months so I can go back in the studio because he feels like that I'm wasting my talent, and he says that it's hard for me to multitask everything and also make that a priority. I don't think that that's a good idea as far as a month or two. It's just all about balance, and I'm trying to balance that shit out. On release, I got to get back in the studio. You know what's crazy too? Pun had told me, he told me yesterday, he was like, hey, I think that we should take off a month from Community or maybe 2 months so I can go back in the studio because he feels like that I'm wasting my talent, and he says that it's hard for me to multitask everything and also make that a priority.
So, if you don't know, AD is also a rapper. He's been rapping for a long time. But obviously, in terms of being known on the internet, he's more known for being a podcaster and his work he done at No Jumper. So he was in that weird position where he started rapping. He didn't really go anywhere. Then he joins No Jumper, and suddenly his media, content creator, public figure status rises, and he becomes more well regarded, makes more money, becomes more famous, more clouted, whatever it may be. But I think this is kind of beggars, to be kind, to be, not so mean. This is kind of loser mentality, because if he has to be told this, he's already lost, isn't it, really? If at his big age, someone has to tell him, hey man, take some time off the podcast and focus on your music, he's already lost. Because surely it could be argued, why don't you just stop partying as much and maybe focus on your music and also podcast at the same time? How are you unable to split your time and decide what to do without having somebody else tell you, especially at your grown age? It's a bit insane. It really is, because it's not like he depends on music. Obviously what Pun said is true. Maybe he does have a talent that he's not tapping into. Personally, I think his rapping's okay. I think his songs are okay. They're not anything to shout home about. I wouldn't say they're terrible, but they're okay. But you'd imagine if you've got a little media career going that he's got, maybe in LA he's kind of popping and he does little club walk-ins through, he does little walkthroughs, shout-outs, features. I wouldn't imagine he's hurting for money. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're not hurting for money, I think this type of stuff, you should probably go for it. And just do it for the fun of it, because there's less pressure on it. So you won't be trying to make a hit. You'll just be doing stuff for fun, just for the fucking fun of it. Why not give it a go? But to wait for somebody to tell you to take time off to do it, that kind of shows that you're not really in it. You're probably already lost, because you don't need to be told that. That's like common sense. You already have your, you can already make your own schedule because you do content. You don't need the money because you've got other forms of income, you'd imagine. So why not just do it for the fun of it? Probably got a studio near it, maybe one indoors that you can probably use. Why not just give it a go? But it also makes me wonder, in general, why this is probably the reason. This is a bit of a stretch as well. This is a bit of a stretch, but listen to me. Listen to me. This is a bit of a stretch, but hear me out. This might explain why Adam 22 treats these guys like scrubs sometimes. Why he talks to them the way he talks to them via streams and stuff. Why he kind of big times them, little bros them, and just doesn't really regard them anyway special, anyway sort of form, because maybe he knows behind the scenes these guys are a bit dumb. Maybe it's a gangbanger thing, maybe it's a goon thing, but it's like, do you really need to be told to take time off on your podcast? Because I don't even think you need to take time off it. He doesn't even do community that often anyway. He's kind of, lazy, not consistent with it anyway. Why can't you just stop going out? Don't go out as much. He gets accused of being a party crip. Don't be outside too much and just focus on the music. How is that hard? And why does your man I just I don't know. When I heard him say this, I was like, wow, these guys are kind of dumb, but it's not a bad thing that they're dumb. They're just kind of a bit dim in it. That they need someone to tell them that, oh yeah, focus on this and do this. It's like, at this grown age, you need someone to tell you this. Like he's some up and coming rapper, like he's 19 or something. You're not. He's a grown ass man with kids and shit and other responsibilities. Why do you need someone to tell you this? I don't know. What are you guys saying in the chat here? Big up Assad Aziz. Eddie was never that good as a rapper though. He had one club banger and still gets played when he goes out because of the selective gang politics. Yeah, that's what I've also wondered. I've also figured out when my time of watching a lot of these guys, because I didn't know none of these guys existed before No Jumper. So I've been exposed and kind of educated about LA street politics kind of through them. So the lens is a bit skewed. But one thing I realized pretty quickly is that these guys they're complicated, isn't it? There's a lot of drama. So this explains why hip-hop in general, the industry, is not really revolving around the West Coast. They don't really give a fuck about the West Coast. Because imagine if you try to do music business in LA, music business on the West Coast, with all the gang politics they've got, it just becomes super complicated very, very, very quickly. Very, very dangerous. Very, very, very quickly. Very dramatic. Very, very, very quickly. Look at someone like Wack 100. Wack 100 is probably, he's not even the exception, he's the rule. There's a bunch of people like that around LA who run record labels, studios and stuff, who are essentially like pimps in a way. You know, like essentially they strong arm business tactics, like really intense, weird, brain hurting stuff. So it's no surprise a lot of the LA guys run to New York to try and make it. I think of Odd Future being a good example. I remember when Odd Future first popped off, even though they're from LA, they got their real big start, if I remember, in New York. They went to perform at this like I think it might be in A-Life, you know. I think it might be at the A-Life store, Rivington. They had this little backyard garden thing back in the day, like a barbecue, and they went and performed there for someone at a label, and that's what kind of helped them to go get signed eventually. But, you know, Odd Future, Tyler Creator, all those guys, you know, they're LA, but they didn't really blow up through there, because you'd imagine the gang politics too, of people trying to get in their pockets and have them be affiliated with who and who. It's just exhausting, man. It really is exhausting. I don't know. What you guys saying here? I'm going back to the 1990s with Tape Boom Bap. We just stop acting like going to studio for an hour is some big bro. These guys, you know how these guys are, man. You know how these guys are. They love to exaggerate and make the smallest thing into the biggest task. That's part of their fucking brand, to be fair. I hear I wish all cell phones didn't exist. It's Zombie MK. Is it a lot easier for them to say my thing is blah, blah, blah. David Guerrero. Is it a lot easier for him to say my thing is, so can we blame him? Even his show seems kind of lazy. No real prep or anything. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's laziness. I'm not gonna lie. I think they just know they can get away with it. I think once the views drop, they'll start prepping more. Because remember, I don't know if you guys watched them when they all joined No Jumper for the first couple of months. It was really good. They were talking about topics. They were being funny. Like, it was great. Then when they started to get comfortable, that's when it obviously went to shit. But they have it in them. But they just, you know, why bother trying if people let you get away with doing the bare minimum? That's the issue. So once the views dramatically drop and stuff, and maybe the sponsors dry up, then they might get sprung into action. But, you know, until then, you're gonna get this guy having an epiphany because his manager told him, "Oh, maybe you should, you know, stop, you know, doing the podcast and focus on music for a little bit because you can't multitask." It's like, what? You need to be told that. You have to be told that. Wild. Anyway, on the subject of being told things, let's play a clip courtesy of my nigga Point and Shoot. Big up Point and Shoot. You know I'm a big fan of Point and Shoot. Point and Shoot does a lot of great videos focusing on the No Jumper universe people. He put out a recent one that focuses on one of my favorite people from the No Jumper universe, Flakko, also known as Poetik Flakko, also known as wait guy. He is into a little bit of beef with somebody called 4 Extra, and I can't wait to hear what this is all about. I can't wait to hear, because I think I've missed this arc. There's definitely something going on here. I've missed this arc, so I can't wait to hear what this beef is all about. Because look at him. Look at Flakko. He's all over this fucking page. He has beef. He has beef with 16 Shot him. He's got beef with this guy. So let's see what I'm going with Poetik Flakko, and big up my guy Point and Shoot.
Okay, so I just wanted to briefly go over the situation where it looks like Frederick Jala is being pressed for cash.
Flakko, what's up? What's up, cuz? DM, cuz?
540's crypt for extra.
Let's go back. What up, cuz? Look how small that room is, man. Is that a room or is that his living room? I'd love to know. Is that a room? Or is that his whole apartment? Is there like the kitchenette on the corner? Like, I'd love to know. It's so small. He can barely fit in it himself. Like, no way his bum fits through that little gap here. No way the bum fits through that little gap. Anyway, let him do his thing, innit? He's balling. He just bought his mum an AMG, you said, isn't it?
Okay, so I just wanted to briefly go over the situation where it looks like Frederick Jala is being pressed for cash
Flakko, what's up, cuz? Damn, cuz.
by 40's Crip 4 Extra. So let me tell you what's been going on. So Frederick Minyango Jala decided a while back to make a heinously disrespectful documentary about 4 Extra's life. Where
Wow. Honestly, Flakko, like, I'm surprised he hasn't been punched up here. I'm surprised Flakko hasn't been punched up here. Jesus Christ, man. He just without any sort of fucking provocation, he just makes a video about you. The troubled life of rolling 40 Crip 4 Extra, multiple life sentences. Sad life as the fucking thumbnail. Sad life.
Jala made fun of 4 Extras bringing up Hood and spoke about his parents and everything else.
Jesus Christ.
And so the speculation was that 4 Extra would allow Jala to keep the video up in exchange for some sort of money, and this is speculation. But this would explain why Jala has been able to get away with this, with making this video and still be able to be locked in with the Crips and the gang members of LA. And so this was months back when 4 Extra was locked up. But now 4 Extra is a free man and he's coming to collect his bread from the smelly blogger. And so let's just get on with it and show the first clip. This is going to be 4 Extra sending a chilling message to Poetik Jala about his chick, and watch this.
Flakko, what's up, cuz? Damn, cuz.
Any guy who unironically wears rings like that on their fingers, on all 4 fingers, oof, you probably don't want to mess with them. They've had an interesting childhood, you know, an interesting upbringing. Like, that's a look, innit? Maybe it's very Caribbean, but whatever it is, that's the type of look of somebody that, you know, if there's a brick nearby, it might land in the back of your head.
You ain't send me my bread, bro. What's up with my bread, bro? Damn, you ain't answering the calls while Lupe calling you while I'm in jail and shit, cuz. What's up with all that? Tap in, bro. Send me my bread. Now that I'm out. Do I gotta come up there and get my bread, bro? Flakko, tap in.
That's a bit tough, though. You don't want to be saying, should I come up and get my bread? Because that sounds like a bit of a threat. He's obviously threatening him. We know what he's saying. But saying, do I have to come up there? And if something does happen to Frederick Jala, or if his head gets blown off, you know.
Don't do all that weird shit, bro. Tap in and send my bread, bro. I don't do all that bullshit, all that. None of that. Tap in, bro. I don't play that. Do I gotta come up there and get my bread, Flakko? Bro, tap in.
Oh, so he says, do I got to come up there, Flakko? Meaning to no jumper. And that probably means like he's going to be like waiting in the bushes to pop out and fucking, you know, get his money, his rightful money that he... I want to show you a clip of the from the documentary that Jala made about this guy. And what's especially troubling about this is that Jala appears to be very zesty. He's wearing like lip gloss, it looks like.
I just love how I just don't understand. This is something that I've just been fascinated about when it comes to locales. And I think Poetik Flakko is definitely a locale. I've been surprised when it comes to locales. They love the camera. They love speaking. They love being in front of people. But if I was them, I would be hiding from people. It's like Wings of Redemption and Boogie. Wings of Redemption and Boogie are 2 500-pound obese, horrible looking people with questionable personal hygiene, terrible facial features, just look terrible. They both got weird voices, but they just love to speak and be on camera. Weird. Flakko, 4'11", 500 pounds, and he's got an aggressive stutter that seems to get worse the more he's surrounded by other people. And he's got a really weird way that he speaks, in that his lips pucker up like that, like a fucking baboon's anus or something. Like he goes super hard. It's like, why would you want to speak on camera? Why would you want to be like an influencer or a content creator when you've got all of these hoops that you have to kind of like overcome to get people to tune into you? You're super fat. You have that weird stutter. You look the way that you look. Like, why do you even do this? You know, I mean, it's such a weird thing, but I guess that's part of like the fun, isn't it? Like, oh, look, I look the way that I do. But it's like, Because when he's on his own, if you notice Poetik Flakko, when you go on his stream to watch his videos, when he's by himself in his studio, he doesn't stutter. But he seems to stutter more when he's surrounded by people. But then he works at No Jumper, he does like hip hop stuff, so he's always in rooms with like other black people. And then he seems to get nervous and then stutters way more. And it's like, bro, just do streams by yourself then. If you keep stuttering super aggressively around people, just don't go outside. You know, it's like, I don't understand it. I don't get it personally. But anyway, let's continue.
Like, he's talking extremely zested up, and this is going to be a very zestfully disrespectful little clip. Watch this.
This is the story of the troubled life of 4 Extra. Now, 4 Extra had a really troubled life, but he was...
You know what the lip balm is, by the way? I know this guy because he's such a fucking... I don't know. He looks like the type of black person that doesn't even cream their hands or moisturize their hands. I bet you the lip balm is this. I bet you somebody in Poetik Flakko's comments said, "Rah, Flakko, your lips look super dry," because he's so far close to the camera and he keeps puckering his lips every time he stutters. Somebody mentioned to him his lips were dry, and now he's overcompensating and basically getting a tub of Vaseline and just lipsing it and then getting on camera. That's what he probably does. He just opens a tub of Kaisina Vaseline and just fucking muff dives in it and then gets on fucking camera. That's why his lips look overly shiny.
Able to turn things around. There are very few people on earth who start gangbanging right from the is this dude named 4 Extra. And this,
of course, Flakko has a video in the clip talking about this guy where it has a video of him in jail and it zooms very slowly down his torso, not even up. It doesn't even go from the feet up. It goes from his head all the way down to like his midsection, as if he's trying to look at his piece or something. Honestly, I love Flakko, man. He's so fucking weird.
In this video, we will be going through his troubled life, from his early introduction to gang life, his ins and outs with law enforcement, and his drive towards redemption. All I can say is this dude, life is really messed up, and it's my pleasure to tell you this story. Almost every game...
It's my pleasure to tell you this story. This guy's had a life of nothing but misery, pain, and I can't wait to tell you. Fucking hell, Flakko, man. What is wrong with you?
Banger has 2 things in common. First off, they have a very shitty childhood. I mean, of course, right? Finally, one thing he listened to when it comes to his father, right? Right?
Why is he laughing?
So a lot of people are never going to know how insanely worse this was before Jala went in and trimmed out all the harshest parts. But the documentary's still up and you can go watch it. But all the crazy parts that made people's jaws hang open, originally those parts are all trimmed out because he received backlash for this. And I want to show you a clip of Jala on Clubhouse or whatever the fuck this is, and he's going to be sort of explaining himself and copping some pleas. Watch this.
I'm doing this to highlight like how bro have changed his life and how he's now on a positive side. And if there's anything in this video that like bro don't fuck with, let me know and I'll take it down. If you want something tweak or cut out, right, I can do it, right? So, bro, like, I genuinely, man, was trying to do something positive, but because of my track record, it came off as, yo, I'm playing with niggas or I'm violating, you know? But, bro, I had the truest intent.
Hey, yo, big up Assad.
Would you rather have Trell arm or Flacco's thighs?
T-Row's arm, 100%. At least he's skinny. T-Row's arm, 100%. Have you seen what Flacco's thighs look like? I think I googled it. It's like a condition or something. He's got some sort of condition. He's fat anyway, but he's also got another condition that makes his legs look the way, because his legs are just, it's just too weird how much, like, it's almost like it's full of like liquid, or like it's full of like grape juice or something. Like if you press it, like grape juice kind of shoots out. You could probably hold a cup next to it and like strawberry juice or like mango juice or something comes out of it. Yeah, I'll take T-Row's arm all day long. Big up Assad.
intentions, you know.
So as you can see, Jala is suffering the consequences of his mistake by doing this video. And he absolutely did trim out many parts, I believe. I mean, there's obvious parts. The beginning part, there's a part that's trimmed out, straight up.
Few people on Earth who start gangbanging right from the is this dude named 4Extra.
So the video is not even 10 seconds in before something needs to be trimmed out. That's how bad this documentary was.
Jesus Christ.
And so what it's looking like happened is that Jala offered to take the video.
I really want to see the untrimmed documentary. If anybody has the clip of the untrimmed documentary on 4Extra, please let me know. I'd love to see the unedited documentary of 4Extra and how flagrant Flakko was talking about him. I'd love to see it.
Down and say, look, I don't want any smoke, I'll take it down. But then 4Extra said, no, you said you wanted to help me. Well, check this out. This is what's going to help me. You're going to leave the video up. It's going to get money, and then you're going to give me the money for it. And that's what I believe. That's my theory, is that this is like, hey, no, now you got to leave it up, and now you got to pay me, okay? So that's what I believe is going on. But there are other theories out there that I've observed. There's theories that Flakko's actually been put on and that he is a Crip now in the streets.
Hilarious. That's
which would
hilarious.
explain why he's able to politic publicly with the Crips. I want to show you this next clip of Jala yelling and screaming at some Crips over some politicking type shit. I want to show you that immediately. Look at this.
Look, he trying to politic, bro. He trying to start some shit. Jesus says security, who's a power rule shot Dejan. That's not allowed. Or we gonna politic because that's the homie.
Jesus Christ.
Man, Flakko, bring your ass up here, nigga.
Right? Here's the thing, though. It's black and white. Ain't no gray area with these rules, bro. It's black and white. Ain't no gray area with these rules,
just
bro.
saying street niggas in general.
Ain't no gray area with these rules, dog.
Why do they entertain him, do you think? Why do you think they entertain Flakko? Is it because he has a platform and because he's got numbers and stuff? He's such a dweeb. Like, why do they entertain this stuff? They all look kind of like, you know, for lack of a better word, they all look like losers talking to him. Why are they even talking to him? Like, if he doesn't live your way of life, why are you even conversing with him about this sort of stuff? I don't know. American goons just love attention anyway, innit? I think American goons just love being on camera. They love social media. They're just too mixy. They're too like, it's just like, aren't you meant to be a career criminal? Why are you on the internet anyway?
Y'all said, listen, and we ain't no gray area, bro. That nigga came on a recorded line and said a pie roof shot this guy. If that's allowed, hey, if that's allowed, bro, the streets is dead, bro.
Look, it's so many 40s, it's so many niggas from 40s that's from his neighborhood that a nigga can
He left.
to understand.
All right, so something's gotten into Jala.
Look at that mouth. Honestly, why does he create content? If you speak like this, if this is how you speak, why are you on camera? I'm fascinated by it. But maybe, I think Super Jello said like he's, this sort of thing is his superpower. Maybe that is. I'd be so embarrassed to speak in public if I spoke like that. If I was stuttering this aggressively and my mouth did this when I was speaking. Like, could you imagine this is how you lived your life? Let alone he's 4'4" and he's 450 pounds. Could you imagine if you spoke, this is how you looked? You closed your eyes and you were shaking as you were stuttering. Really and truly, all this time he spent talking about gangbangers, he should be spending it on like a speech therapist. Money to like fix his stutter or at least alleviate it, and maybe some drills or exercises to help, like, you know, it's not be so pronounced. You shouldn't be on camera like stuttering like this. This is just like a poor use of time and resources.
Something's going on. Psychologically speaking, I mean, he's really out of control. His mouth is out of control. He's running his goddamn mouth on the internet like a wild person. He's saying all these crazy things about gangs. And I just think it's really concerning at this point.
I think he just wants to get paid. I think Flakko's seen the numbers and he's chasing the views now. That's what it feels like to me. Obviously, Pornishue's being funny, but I think Flakko's just chasing the views. He's seen the money he's been getting lately for some of the high view videos he's getting, and he's just fucking chasing it. He's on a high. He just wants to fucking keep getting it. But because he's in LA, and because LA is such, you know, a complicated place to navigate at the best of times, it feels like he's gonna run into some issues if he's not careful. That's what it feels like, because those guys don't play.
Point. And so where we're left is it appears that Jala is avoiding for extra and refusing to pay, which is weird because Jala's always constantly flexing about how much money he has, about all of his riches and his cars and guns and stuff. I mean, what's going on? Why won't you just pay your debts?
He's lying, isn't he? Doesn't make as much as he does, or, he doesn't want to give the guy the money.
Why do you refuse to pay for extra the money that he is entitled to? This just doesn't make any sense. Pay him the money. Please pay him the money. I mean, what's going on?
You can't call Flakko to come nowhere. Facts. I'm a big dog. Facts. I'm a big dog. Facts. I just cashed out on an AMG, got the pink slip. Me. Facts. This ain't 2022.
Oh, is that the car that he bought? Somebody found the car that, honestly, the internet, man. The internet is fucking wild. Did somebody find the actual Mercedes AMG that he fucking purchased? I fucking love it. I love it. It's just so hilarious. $35,000, 63,000 miles. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know nothing about cars. Can someone educate me? 63,000 miles sounds like a lot. Is that a lot for the price? Did he still pay quite a bit for it? Did he overpay? It says overpriced, but did he overpay? 35 grand for a 2018 car that's got nearly 64,000 miles. That doesn't sound good. That triangle doesn't look good, does it? 2018, 35,000, 64, Big up King Bayo. Flakko is who AZ wants to be. Facts. Nah, I don't want to be anybody. I want to be myself. I believe in the Tony Robbins methodology of there's only one of you. Be who you can be. Come into your power. Yeah.
This ain't 2022. This ain't the nigga who showed up. This ain't
Super Jello. Nah, the word overpriced in red B is good, car. The word overpriced. The word overpriced in red is good, car. It's fucking stupid.
The nigga who showed up to LA with a fucking 2014 Chevy Malibu, nigga. I just cashed out on the AMG. Facts. My mama retired. Facts. I'm doing M's a month, millions of views a month by myself.
So he's constantly flexing. He's constantly shitting on people's financial.
That's definitely something he's learned from academics, isn't it? Academics loves to flex his money to kind of remind people that he's the big dog. That's definitely you can see a lot of the academics in him coming out there.
Position. And so I just think it's so funny. Why would you be avoiding for extra on a little bit of Cho? I mean, you could afford to pay him probably $5,000 a month. I don't know why you wouldn't just do that. You know what I mean? You've got the money. Jolly, you are a scoundrel for that. I don't know what's gotten into you lately, but please just pay him his money. What is going on? So this next clip I want to show you is Jala. I thought this was funny. This is Jala talking about how all rappers are hoes. Look at this.
Don't learn from what happened to Pac. Right? Bro, like, let's be real here, right? Right? Like, the era of us believing rappers are tough is over with.
I've never met one.
Every rapper is a bitch-ass nigga.
I've never met a tough rapper.
They're all hoes.
There
right?
are some, but like...
So Jala hates all rappers, and he also has spoken very publicly about how he doesn't like gang members and that he wants to expel them from their hood.
No, Russell, look.
One more time, that was good.
Hood.
No, Russell, look. And up means, like, we know where the trap houses are. We know your bodies, the crime Jordan did. Bro, we know where all the skeletons are buried. Again, it's 90% of us, right? Nigga, y'all leave or we gonna guarantee y'all leaving to a jailhouse. Nigga, 10% of the nappy niggas who was terrorizing us. Bro, again, how do we?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
So Flakko wants the community to stand up against gang members that are terrorizing him and stuff, and so it's really weird that he's so infatuated with something that he despises with such hatred,
Exactly.
with such passionate rage. Why? I mean, I've never seen Flakko so fired up than when I see him talk about gang members and rappers. And so this is really interesting. And so he's got this weird obsession with LA street life, like gang life. And this is his whole thing now. He's locked in with the Crips, but now he owes money to some Crips. And so this is where things take a dark turn. And this is very, very concerning. This is he could be in danger at this point. Okay. So, Jala, pay him the money. Okay. Do you understand? You can afford it and you need to pay, but only if you want to though. Okay. So that's going to do it for this video thing.
I'm curious to see how it ends for Flakko, because I feel like he's playing a bit of a dangerous game. Because it'd be one thing if he just reports on the news, like he's just like a West Coast academics, but he's now doing these documentaries where he's almost going out of his way to pull these stories out and put them on his YouTube channel, which already gets quite a lot of views, which then brings more attention to these stories that probably people don't want attention being brought to them. And then he obviously frames it in a particular way with very clickbaity titles, very clickbaity thumbnails. And he clearly has a tone of disdain for the people he's speaking about. Almost mocking, right? Which is whatever, innit? Do what you want. But unfortunately, those guys in the West Coast, they're very sensitive. They're very emotional. We've seen it on other pods. They don't really take... They react very emotionally over minor things anyway. So imagine how they would feel if you dedicate an entire video and say that they're responsible for starting a gang war or they've got how many bodies. It's like, bro, you're doing a little bit too much. But I also like, I'm not going to lie, a part of me likes the fact that he's able to get under these gangbangers' skin and he doesn't leave his apartment and he doesn't leave no jumper. He just stays in these places, doesn't really go outside, isn't really mixy, and he's able to get away with just saying the most flagrant stuff about these guys who are quote unquote very dangerous and have a rep on the streets, and nothing happens to him. Hasn't been touched once. Apart from 16 shot him spitting on him, no one's really touched him. You know? So I kind of respect and rate that. I respect and rate that he's able to get away with just pressing these guys' button and getting under their skin and doesn't go outside. I think that's fucking fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Part of it is absolutely fantastic. The fact that he can cause so much havoc. The fact that he can be such a thorn in their ass and nothing happens to him. Never gets touched. But the problem is the people online, especially some of these commenters and stuff and Reddit people, they're also very good at pressing gangsters and gangbangers buttons. I have a feeling there's going to come a moment, there's going to come a time where someone's going to say like, oh, you guys say you're dangerous, you guys say you represent this crip and you're this, that, and then this, whatever. Why has nothing happened to Frederick Jalla? And then someone's going to go out of their way to prove they're gangster with Frederick Jalla. You know? And yeah, so I wouldn't want that to happen personally, but this guy is playing with fire. He's playing with fire. So let's see how it plays out. But big up fucking Point and Shoot. He always does fucking great videos. I'm a big fan of Point and Shoot. I'm a big fan of Point and Shoot. Before we continue, we have to play this video. Big up the person on the Fire and the Kids subreddit for this video. This is fucking wild. Random ass video from a random ass person on the best subreddit in the world that features Brendan fucking Schaub. Some homeless cat somehow walking around the streets of LA happened to bump into Brendan. Not only just bump into him, they also bumped into him while his car was broken down on the side of the road. Could you imagine how the serendipity of seeing him number one out and about in LA, and then seeing him as his fucking Ford Lightning had broke down in the streets of LA. Isn't this fucking hilarious? Let's play this clip. Absolutely insane. One more time. Let's get this fucking full window. Could you imagine just walking around and then, walking around with the missus on a fucking, leisurely walk during the week? Maybe gonna go get some fucking, a nice little bubble tea or something. And you're like, hold on, I recognize that fucking car. I recognize that awful gaudy car. It has to be him. To be fair, I know I was taking the piss out of the car the other day and I said he fucked it up and did too much with the colours. But it actually looks quite good here, doesn't it? For my car heads and people with, taste and shit. What do you think? It actually looks better in real life at this angle than it did in the picture that I spoke about the other day, where you can see a different colour of the panels. It actually looks quite cool here, with the front of it being black and the back of it being orange. I quite like it, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I think I got trash taste probably. Brendan Mulry says no, it looks terrible. Andrew W, no. F, matchbook car, it's a redact mobile. Okay, fair play. L. So I just got terrible taste then. Yeah, I got terrible taste, no problem. You know what would actually be quite cool if it was possible? I don't think it's legal though in America. Why doesn't he have like black lights? Like, those lights that where the covers are black tint, like a black shade or black tint. And then you remove the badge or you make it a blackout badge. So basically you'd have it the front black completely, and then maybe you try and get, the rims orange or something or whatever to match the back as well. Or maybe just leave the color. No, that would be quite cool, innit? Black lights, black badge, just completely black it out. Black floodlights. Yeah, it actually looks quite cool there. I don't know. I think it looks quite good there, personally. But maybe because I like the color. Because I said before, like, I'm a sucker for chavvy, horrible, gaudy cars. And one of my dream cars to get in the future would be like a 2018 or something? I think it's a Range Rover Sport. It's when they first started doing Range Rover Sports, or they first started doing a particular one, and it came in orange. I think I was speaking to you about it before on the stream. I love that car. It's one of my favorite cars back in the day. Range Rover Sport in fucking orange. It's like, I know it sounds fucking horrible, but trust me, I love it. And there's him sitting on the side of the fucking curb on his phone, texting one of those garages that tried to fix it for him, to get it to fix it for him for free. The person who sold Brendan this car, the person who sold Brendan this car, wow, man. What a scam. What a scam. Because if you remember the video that he took when he went to go get the car, because he did lie about it. He said his people went to go get it, but he went to go fly over to get it. If you remembered, the car it looked brand new, didn't it? He did that classic scam. And again, I'm not even a car guy, but I know from my dad and shit and people that buy cars that there's that scam that people do where they'll list a car online and they'll just get it, they'll get it fucking vacuumed, they'll get it valeted, they'll get the tires fucking blackened and shit. They'll get it looking so shiny and new that some redact will call you up and just buy it sight seen or something, or sight unseen, or just buy it as soon as they get there because it looks new. They won't even bother test driving it, sorry. So that's why some people can get away with selling lemons. Buy new rims, if the interior is good, whatever, fix that up and shit. Like loads of things that people just get impressed because it's got like a shiny dashboard. So that's what happened to Brendan. He went there, he saw it was shiny. Oh my God, it's silver, it's shiny. It looked almost like it was stock or something. He thought it was stock. And this guy just had it in his garage, just collecting dust. And he just bought it without really... Imagine flying... Please, people. Imagine flying somewhere to go and pick up a car and you don't test drive it. If I remember correctly, he flew to Arizona or somewhere like that to go pick up that Ford Lightning. Flying somewhere and then not test driving a car is redacted to the nth degree. I do not understand why he did that. And now, clearly, he's got issues. Of course, the mods maybe didn't help, but it seems like this car was doomed from the minute one. He's always had issues. So I wonder, for you guys in the stream chat who are car dudes, what happens with a car like this? If you've got a lemon, can you fix it? So it's more like reliable and doesn't break down as much, or does it get to a point where you just have to like scrap it for parts or something because you just put too much money in it? Can you actually get a car to just run good after if it's been breaking down all the time? Is that possible? Or does it have like structural engine type of damage that just you can't, it costs too much money to get it not to be a lemon? Because I don't know why does he keep pouring money in? And also why does he keep pouring money into this? And where's the new TRX? Does this maybe explain something? He flipped his TRX. He went and bought a new one to flex straight away, another one. I think it was like blue. Cool, congrats. But I think he's been trying to work on it to get it road ready. This shocks, that shocks, whatever. But why isn't he driving that TRX? The new one. What's happened to that? Maybe he's holding on to his Lightning because it's the only road, not legal, but the car that he can drive on a daily. Maybe that lime green. Maybe he's already sold the lime green Dodge. Maybe he doesn't even own the Dodge anymore. Because I'm wondering why he's so attached to this Lightning and doesn't just get a fucking TRX and drive that. It's a 24-year-old car. Again, engine rebuild. Don't beat it up. Should be fine, says Abby Martinez. Okay, cool. When you detail it like that, it doesn't make much sense. It's not going to be anything but a money pit. Okay, cool. So if you have the money, you can basically restore it to somewhat good condition. I'm getting from the stream chat. But it just depends. Are you willing, as Abby Martinez says, it's a 25-year-old car. Should you really be spending that amount of money in a car anyway at that age? Or should you just be trying to buy a new one? Or something a bit newer than that anyway, at least. But wow, man, what a random spot. Just seeing him on the streets. Big up Bait.
No scam. Baba don't know what he's looking at. As is.
Okay. So it wasn't true. That's true. That's a good point. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the scam. He just doesn't know what he's looking at. That's a great way to put it. Big up you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Fucking hell, man. In that sweltering heat, of course he has to get the shade. Like, what a nightmare, man. What a fucking nightmare that car's been for him. Absolute money pit nightmare. Bloody hell. Let's continue here. We've got this clip here, which is one. This is clocking out of the contractually obligated friendship. Golden hour things, starring Crystalia.
Made up.
Yeah, but it's become a left and right thing. It's like, no, it's just a health thing. It's not that I'm far right. It's just a health thing at this point.
Pants, and it's just like,
yeah.
All right, cool. I'm out. See you guys.
It's wild. It's wild when you see people still wearing masks.
Wow! Look at that pause. It's like they're in class. It's like they're going to. It's like they're fucking elementary school. It's like they're in college. Look at that. The buzzer went off and everyone's run like, Jesus Christ, bro. Look at that. They couldn't wait to get out. They couldn't wait to leave. And most podcasts, they just, they feign interest. They feign that they're going to hang around. Like, oh my God, we got the best job in the world. We just talking to our friends, hanging out, having a good time. We don't want the conversation to ever end. We just want to be here forever. But these guys, the podcast ends and they are running for the doors, running for the exit, running to get out, running to get away. Sometimes I wonder to myself, like, how different would my life would be if I had like a normal social circle of friends that I went to their birthday parties or funerals, weddings, promotions, Friday night drinks. How different would it be? But then I wonder to myself, some people I know have these almost transactional relationships that aren't really that real, or friendships that aren't really based on anything apart from money, whatever status, clout, So I think at some points, I'd rather be lonely than have friends, quote unquote, like this, who you know are only with you because you're one of their only options, and they're also only with you because you pay them, but they don't really want to hang out with you. They don't really like you. You're just the only person that's left. Really, if you think about it, look at Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia has been completely ostracized from the comedy community because of the allegations against him. He doesn't really have any comedy friends, it seems like, for the most part. The only person he has really to count on is Brendan and Brian Callen. But only Brendan's the one that pays him, so he hangs out with him more, basically, which is wild in itself, because prior to the allegations, Chris and Brian were quite close. Eddie Griffin's the same thing. Eddie Griffin's a bit of a comedy scene nomad. He's in like a nomad a bit, innit? He's a bit of a nomad. He doesn't really have a crew. He's not really part of Tiger Belly, Andrew Santino thing. He's not really part of, he's not really part of the Kill Tony crew. He's not really a part of anyone. He's just kind of like in his own little place. Maybe because people don't like his personality. Maybe because he's just a hard person to get along with. Maybe because when people were popping doing podcasts, he was acting. Maybe, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe his era in Workaholics kind of correlated with this boom of comedy podcasts, so he couldn't really be around. He couldn't really make a name for himself because he was actually working on a hit TV show. But either way, these guys are only friends because of that big logo behind with Brendan. And because, one got cancelled and one doesn't have any options. But if this podcast didn't exist, these guys would never speak. That's the wild thing. If people didn't find out that Chris might like, underage girls allegedly, he probably wouldn't be friends with Brendan. This is tough.
It's so wild. I'll go.
Actually left.
Mask, you're crazy, right?
Don't get me wrong. It's kind of a bit of a bit, I'm assuming, because they're probably getting fed up of Brendan's little right-wing grift. So it's probably partly a bit and partly true. But the fact that they both actually left is fucking hilarious. Everyone's gone. Holy shit. What a life they
was
live.
Made up.
Yeah, but it's become a left and right thing. It's like, no, it's just a health thing. It's not that I'm far right. It's just a health thing at this point.
Pants, and it's just like,
yeah.
All right, cool. I'm out. See you guys.
It's wild. It's wild when you see people still wearing masks. It's so wild. I'll go. Mask, you're crazy, right?
Was made up.
Yeah, but what?
Jesus Christ. Could you imagine that life? I don't know, man. I don't know. Not for me, dog. It's not for me. It really isn't for me. You mean if you had friends? Big up bodybuilding news. Ha ha ha. Fucking fuck. They're running away from Papa. Rogan ran all the way to Texas to get away from him and Callen. I have a feeling, this is just my outward silly dumb boy theory. It's just a crazy coincidence that just lined up for Rogan. He was probably already getting tired of all those guys anyway, because they ask too much, they're too clingy, they're not funny, they're ruining his fucking comedy rep or just his image in general. And then it just happened to align with COVID, happened to align with the comedy stores shutting down, or LA having one of the most strictest COVID lockdown protocols and shit. It all kind of aligned at the same time. Chris getting cancelled, Brian, and the perfect time to escape. And he just went for it. Obviously he had the means to do it, but everything lined up for him perfectly. Yo, big up Abe Martinez, appreciate it, brother.
Yup, nepotism amongst friends helps.
Exactly.
Papa and Rogan.
Exactly. I like that term. Friendship nepotism is fucking hilarious, but it definitely is accurate. Big up Abe Martinez, appreciate you. But yeah, Rogan ran, and if you notice something as well, someone mentioned about Rogan running, the coincidence, not coincidence, but the stars aligned for him to run away the way it did. But he also never turned back. He never turned back ever. Like, he's not he always talks about how bad LA is. He fucking loves it. It's one of his things that he loves to do now. Honestly, Amazing, bro. Amazing. These guys burnt out Rogan. They burnt him out. He's like, I can't be around these guys too much, man. I gave him an entire career on the fucking silver platter and they still want more. It's like, leave me alone. And he just ran and hasn't looked back. He's literally got a whole group of different friends now. It's fucking hilarious. Oh my God, man. Someone could probably write a comedy where Rogan is the main character and Bappa and Callan are two annoying redacts constantly ruining his life. Exactly. Bill Koya, I live in a town with 300 people and Paulie Shaw is doing 3 nights over at 4th of July. It makes 0 sense to me. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's continue. What's the next one? The latest Dad of the Year story is mental. Big up Wiley. It's 5:35 a.m. in the UK and ADs are wide awake talking about Schaub. LOL wild. What do you want me to talk about? You want me to talk about Oprah? You want me to talk about The Acolyte because it's got some black ladies in it or something? What do you want me to talk about, brother? You want me to talk about that guy Phantom having a fucking heart attack at 26? What else you want me to talk about? Huh? You want me to talk about basketball or something because I'm black? You want me to talk about the basketball? You want me to talk about hoops? You want me to talk about I don't know, Gunna performing a sold out show in Atlanta? Would that be more apropos? Would that be more apropos? Would that be more apropos for you there, Wale? Eh? Yeah, the Fallon thing is super sad, man. I hope he gets okay. Allegedly, he had a heart attack. I think he said it. I think he's posted something. I saw it on Twitter. He had a fucking heart attack. He's fine though. He's getting better, but it's like Jesus Christ. He's at 26. Like, hope that's the thing with wake up calls. You would hope that's a wake up call, but you never know. You know, like he could just go back to doing what he's going back to doing. So it's like, but 26 is no age to get a heart attack, man. Like fucking hell. If that doesn't make you want to get healthy, then nothing will really. To be fair, but yeah, get well soon, Phantom. Innit? Godspeed to him. He's a funny kid. This is the latest Dad Story of the Year material. Let's see what this is about. I'm curious to see this one. Dad Story of the Year. What's this about? Please don't make me cry.
Dude, I was at the mall off Topanga, and this dude was literally having a meltdown because his car. So he valeted. It was like some Persian dude. The worst attitude I've ever seen. It was insane. He was yelling at everyone, talking shit, saying racist shit to this black dude. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just me and Bosty because we just saw the new Godzilla, and we're sitting there, and he's like scared, and he grabs on my leg. And the guy's like, just get my fucking car, bro. And the guy's like, dude, hold on, we're gonna get it. He's like, I'll fucking get it. And then he drives the car like at me and Bosty, and then like crazy. And Bosty's like, Dad, what are we gonna do? And I went, buddy, if that guy gets closer, you're gonna grab that tree and you're gonna watch what your dad does. That's how this goes.
Right.
I will. And I told Bosty, I went, you don't need to be scared.
Yeah, that's cool.
Unless he has a gun.
Right.
You're gonna hug this tree and then watch me go to work.
Right.
Big up, why not? Big up, why not? Big up, why not? Big up, why not? Why does everything, or is it just, why does everything sound like the plot of a movie? And then he grabbed my leg and held my hand and said, Daddy, will you kill that man for me? Like, why does everything sound like a fucking movie plot? Because I'm naive. I'm gullible. I've said this plenty of times on here. But I could believe a scenario where there's parts of that story that are true, but he just goes out of his way to embellish. I could believe there's a scenario where he was out and about, going to the pictures, going to the cinema, going to the movies with his baby boy, and he saw some argument take place in the fucking parking, in the parking lot. But do I, for 1 minute, believe that this person was threatening to drive into Brendan? Like, you know, obviously not. But can I picture a scenario where he comes out of the movie talking to his kid, holding his kid while they're going to the car, and then he overhears an argument on like the other side of the car park? Yeah, I could envision that. But then he just adds unnecessary spice to the story. He was there. He was driving at him. The guy said racist stuff. And it's almost like he was the hero waiting in the wings to save everybody. Don't worry, people. Get behind me and hug a tree. Also, what's that detail about? Like, such a weird... Maybe it's all a lie, because liars do that, right? Liars will insert unnecessary details into a story to make it sound more believable. But it obviously makes it sound more like a lie. Like, what's the bit about hugging a tree? Is that something he got from a movie? Go hug a tree. Go hug a tree. What? What's that all about? You want your kid to go... So someone's going to drive into you with your kid. Instead of holding them, you want them to go and run across the road, run across where the car is. What? Why not just tell them to get behind you? Go hug the tree. Yeah, yeah. Big up David Guerra. Middle Eastern fighting. You hate to see it. Exactly. This Middle Eastern dude. Who? You. This Persian dude. Who? You. I thought he was going to say me and Sanaz. Me and Sanaz were out. I'm sorry, I mean me and Bosley. That's what he should have said. What a weird, unbelievable story. That doesn't make any sense. Get behind the tree, I said. One more time for this obviously made up story.
Dude, I was at the mall off Topanga, and this dude was literally having a meltdown because his car. So he valeted. It was like some Persian dude, the worst attitude I've ever seen. It was insane. He was yelling at everyone, talking shit, saying racist shit to this black dude. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just me and Bosty because we just saw the new Godzilla, and we're sitting there, and he's like scared, and he grabs on my leg. And the guy's like, just get my fucking car, bro. And the guy's like, dude, hold on, we're gonna get it. He's like, I'll fucking get it. And then he drives the car like at me and Bosty, and then like, like crazy. And Bosty's like, Dad, what are we gonna do? And I went, buddy, if that guy gets closer, you're gonna grab that tree and you're gonna watch what your dad does. Yeah. That's how this goes.
Right.
I will. And I told Bosty, I went, you don't need to be scared.
Yeah, that's cool.
Unless he has a gun.
Right.
You're gonna hug this tree and then watch me go to work.
I don't know. I kind of understand lying for yourself to make yourself sound awesome, but lying with your kids or lying and using your kids as a prop to make yourself sound like a great dad, that's some bottom feeder shit, innit? I get lying. Oh yeah, I beat this guy up to make you look like a badass. Oh yeah, fuck that girl to make yourself look like some Riz god. Oh yeah, I got this job. Oh yeah, I got that car to make yourself look rich. I get it. Dumb, but I get it. But using your kids as prop lies, that's some bottom feeder shit. That is some despicable shit, innit? And then I said to Bosley, look in my eyes, son. Look in my eyes. I could kill everybody if I wanted to. It's like, what? Okay. Okay, Dad. Thank you. Good to know. Is there no valet in shopping malls? Is that not a thing? I don't really know how shopping malls work. Why wouldn't the shopping mall parking space have valet? Or like a high end one? I'm sure they'd have it. But he didn't go to a high end one, did he? Want to one? I don't know. I don't know. There's no point even over analyzing it. It's obviously a lie. What the fuck? Who the fuck gives a fuck? It's obviously a fucking lie. Wonder why Bappa didn't want a comedian to be able to know which comedians talk shit about them behind their backs. What? Let's read this. I don't get the title, but let's see the clip.
If you could hear everything anybody's ever said about you behind your back, to some like anything another comic has told another comic about you, would you hear it?
Oh no, I wouldn't.
No, because what's the benefit?
Nothing. You'd probably
I mean, one of the funniest.
Oh yeah, great clip. Oh, I missed this stream. This is a good time, man. It brings back some good memories. This brings back some good memories, guys, man. I miss this era. I miss this era of streams. I miss this era of content. I miss this era. I miss it. I miss this. I kind of miss BGL too. The fucking psycho. Him going on every fucking stream available and just airing out all of Brendan's fucking dirty laundry. Without him, we wouldn't have addies and baddies. Think about that. Without him, we wouldn't have addies and baddies.
Things too is there's all these clips of him online saying, I'd never shit on anybody. Like, I don't hate. Like, I'm not a hater at all. Privately, this dude shits on anybody. You know, he'll shit on guys like Josh Wolf.
He makes fun of Steve behind his back. He's like, the guy doesn't do stand-up. He does like a PowerPoint presentation and it sucks. And you're like, you know, you could be Joe Rogan and be like, he does a TED Talk. You know, it's like everything's like, he'll find a way to.
Jesus. And I could see that being true. I could definitely see Brendan being the ultimate hater. For sure. Because he does that anyway in pods. He always does this little like snarky, like he tries to make it look like a joke, but it's not, about other people. Which is weird too, because you'd imagine somebody that gets a lot of stick, that gets a lot of criticism, that gets insulted a lot because of their comedy. You'd think they'd be a lot more like gracious and not want to, you know what I mean? Because they know how it feels. Not this guy. Not fucking this guy. Not fucking this guy. Not fucking this guy. Not fucking this guy. What's this? Pick up Snake Hips. What's that? As a white man with a black girlfriend, my girlfriend thought I was wasting my time watching these fools. AZ got her interested. I'm forever grateful. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Snake Hips. That's a lovely, lovely message. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Look at me, eh? Bringing not only the races together, I'm bringing the genders together, mate. You get me? I'm fucking solidifying relationships out here, mate. Imagine that. Imagine me being responsible for people getting married or people having kids and me not, you know, forcing myself on somebody. Just imagine that. Imagine me not forcing myself onto someone, not blindfolding them, not covering their mouths and pulling them down in the alleyway somewhere, but just being responsible for the birth of a child because of my sultry tones. Just imagine that. What's the world come to? Huh? What's the world come to? But big up Snake Hips. Appreciate you. Love to you and yours. Sending you eternal blessings and love. That's the way we do it. Cool. Move on. Any cats know which podcast Papa is talking about? Or is there any footage? I know it's a badass that never lies. I know Papa is a badass that never lies. That's hilarious. Let's see this. Let's go big a little bit. And let's see what this guy's talking about now.
Oh, well, how is this okay?
Because it's in another
They're
country.
trans.
Right.
It's in another country.
They're trans.
I saw.
I didn't see that. Okay, that's good.
No, I was once doing a podcast and the guy was talking shit about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And there was 7 of them in the room. I said, I bet you I could tap out everyone in here under a minute. The guy was like, not a chance, dude. I'm like, okay. And he's like, you'll do it? I'm like, yeah, as long as you guys don't sue me. He's like, all right, someone put a minute on. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, you're going to get fucked up. He's like, did everyone cool with it? And they're like, yeah. Okay.
So what happened?
53 seconds. No, the best was the last dude. Like the sound engineer was like, ow!
Yeah.
You know, like his neck was all fucked up. Yeah.
He's obviously sharing these stories as like a thinly veiled threat to detractors, trolls, homeless cats and shit, and YouTubers. You'd imagine, because he's been talking a lot more about fighting and beating people up and fucking people up a lot more in recent years or in recent months. I feel like there's been an uptick in violence talk, because there was a period in time where Brendan was like, I don't like fighting, I'm a softie, my idol was Jim Carrey, I want to be a comedian, I'm actually a butterfly but people think I'm a shark, I'm actually really like, I want to be playful, I don't want to be hot. Like he had this whole like weird shtick where he was almost trying to like cuck himself. Like it was weird. But people that do that, people that are overly wanting to be like seen as a good person, oh, I'm a great guy, I'm a great person, they're usually the worst type of people. So it's no surprise that Brendan has always had that rage inside of him anyway, especially with all the things that people say about him, his career going down the pan a little bit. it's no surprise that now the violent talk is coming out because the mask has fully slipped, has fully fucking come off. So now he's being unapologetic himself, and he's like letting people know, hey, I'll fuck you up. And maybe the straw that broke the camel's back was Steve will do it. Because from all extent and purposes, and from, I remember seeing a thread on the Fire and the Kid subreddit, someone made a compilation of the amount of times Brendan mentioned Steve will do it over the years. He was very aware of who Steve will do it was. He was, from what it looks like, a bit of a fan of Steve will do it. And then Steve will do it out of nowhere, comes out and starts insulting him. He's probably like, hold on, you're a fucking dweeb. I could kill you with one hand. That maybe was a straw that broke the camel's back. He's like, okay, enough. I have to remind these fuckers online that I'm a killer. I can kill you. I'm not going to kill you with jokes because I'm not a comedian anymore. If you say something I don't like, I'm going to kill you. So this is what he's doing now. He's doing these like subtle messages, like not so subtle messages where he's like, by the way, I'm got black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's like, we know. That's a weird thing about it. It's not even like who you flexing to. We've always known you were a quote unquote badass. The funny thing about him, or the losery thing about this guy, is that he doesn't act like one. You know what I mean? Like, how you getting your feelings hurt about what someone says on the internet, and you fought in the UFC, and at the time you were Rogan's friend and you got comedy, like, why do you care? It actually makes you look worse. And now here he is, like, with these like weird made up a story about him tapping out, like, and he's saying it like it's an achievement. So you tapped out a bunch of what? People that work on a podcast. That makes you a badass because you went to a podcast and you reminded them that you were a black belt and professional. What?
Oh, well, how is this okay?
Because it's in another
They're
country.
trans.
Right.
It's in another country.
They're trans.
I saw.
No, I was once doing a podcast and the guy was talking shit about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And there was 7 of them in the room. I said, I bet you I could tap out everyone in here under a minute. The guy was like, not a chance, dude. I'm like, okay. And he's like, you'll do it? I'm like, yeah, as long as you guys don't sue me. He's like, all right, someone put a minute on. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you.
And also, this seems like the coincidence between this, the Logan Paul and Bradley Martin thing I'm just thinking about now. It seems oddly convenient to suddenly remember this story, isn't it?
He was going to get fucked up. He's like, did everyone cool with it? And they're like, yeah. Okay.
So what happened?
53 seconds.
I'm not going to lie. I like Eric Griffin's face here. Because Eric Griffin is like the opposite of like a manly man. And Brendan is like overcompensating to try and be like an alpha badass guy. So he obviously, you know, some things he says is like rolls his eyes. But look at Eric's face. Eric's got a good face here. The reaction after Brendan says what he said, he's like, really, nigga? His face is like, look at that. He's not impressed. Oh, really? You tapped out a bunch of office, 9 to 5 people that work in an office, right? You tapped them out. 7 people in 53 seconds. Sure, buddy. Oh, congratulations, So, what do you want me to say? Big up NJ, he's just farting. That's hilarious. He's just farting. Oh, man. What a weirdo, man. What an odd guy. What an odd individual. What an odd individual. Imagine wanting to prove yourself that much to straight, like... Anyway, what can you do? Yeah, let's play this clip. This is a good one. So big up the person uploaded this one.
Anyway,
this is courtesy of Podcast Cringe as well. So big up my nigga Podcast Cringe for this clip. This is a clip courtesy of his YouTube channel. I'm sure some of you have watched it already. It's a really good video where he breaks down Brendan's weird unhinged rant about the lawsuit and stuff, or the lol suit as they say against Unique. But this is a clip about it. Let's play it here. Oh, come on, load, you fucking dickhead. There you go.
Let's keep going. It's about to get good.
Well, thank God, and people don't realize this, and even if he's doing, like, dragging it out, it's pro bono. I don't pay any more. So if whatever issue they have with it, I couldn't tell you what's going on with it. I couldn't tell you when it's going to end. I know nothing about, I don't associate with them anymore. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. Again, I take accountability because that's all. I have to give these people jobs. I have the wrong people around me that I hired, horrible people, right? I have this business guy that had no business managing any of my
bad information.
Bad information. and I'm at a time where I'm not steering the ship, and it's not good.
Okay, first up, Brandon does not know what pro bono means. I think what he's trying to say is that they were working on a no-win, no-fee basis, which also doesn't make sense because he's previously admitted to having paid their massive legal bills. So either they've switched it to a no-win, no-fee basis after the lawsuit started dragging out for years, or he's just straight up lying. But the other thing that caught my attention was the pretty outrageous statement that he wasn't in control of his company, Thick Boy Productions, which is the entity that brought the action against Unique. I went and looked up who the directors are of Thick Boy Productions, and I found this. His father, Peter, was the first director, and then he brought his son Brandon on as a director as well at a later date. Now, the way these kinds of things usually work is that a representative of the company, usually a director, has to sign off on the legal filings. Sure, your lawyers submit them on your behalf because they're lawyers, but the individual or company bringing the suit is ultimately responsible for bringing the action and would need to sign off on it. So given that you can't delegate directors' obligations and responsibilities, there are three possibilities here. The first one is Bappa's right, and his lawyer and former business manager are running the lawsuit without his knowledge or involvement. If that's true, the lawyer needs to be reported to the American Bar Association because that's illegal and he would be disbarred. The second is his dad is calling the shots and paying the bills without Brandon's knowledge or involvement. And the third is Brandon knows exactly what's going on and he's straight up lying about not being involved in the case.
Now you can notice, fast forward now, had to take time off from stand-up.
So essentially he's lying, and I don't understand the lie anyway, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. I don't really get the lie of saying you're not involved in the lawsuit. Like, what's the benefit? I guess he's trying to feign involvement, but it's too late now. The lawsuit got filed. Obviously you filed it because you were talking about it being a defamation lawsuit when it was actually a copyright. That's initially, that whole lie was weird anyway. You say you're suing him for defamation, but you're not. You're suing him for copyright because you didn't like what he said in the video, because he clipped a clip of you handing some girl that wasn't your wife a note. Cool. It's fucked up, but we get it. All right, you went to shut him up. But then you lie and say it's defamation because he said you beat your kids. What? Weird fucking misdirection. Attempted anyway. It happens, and then obviously he loses, and that's embarrassing. Cool, but it's obvious he was going to lose anyway. It shouldn't be a surprise. But then because he lost, we now find out what? That now we find out all these details about the company, including his dad being a director and shit, which throws up a lot of interesting questions about who's really funding T-Fat-K. Because a lot of people think, doesn't make a lot of money with stuff, but I think they do make quite a bit of money on T-Fat-K. You know, you only have to watch some of our watch-alongs on T-Fat-K to see that they've got a lot of hard-baked ads in. That's not including the ads they have on, if I didn't have, YouTube Premium, if I didn't have an ad block. Imagine all the ads they run on the, on the video itself that aren't the hard-baked ads they put in there. So they have a ton of ads. They probably make a ton of cash. I think so. They still have that big studio space. So most likely the podcast pays for itself. And maybe Papa Schaub sprinkle some extra income on top of it and shit. But because of this lawsuit, we find out all this shit about the business that we probably shouldn't have found out, right? Which makes him look a bit wild because, you're acting like you're some middle or some working class blue collar guy, but, your very wealthy dad is basically paying for your hobby, essentially. You're a grown ass man and your dad's paying your bills and shit. It's a bit like, oh, wild. Cool, whatever. But now that we know these details, why is he going out of his way to try to pretend like he was involved in a lawsuit? It's so bizarre to me. Like, what a strange lie. Because who cares, really? Because we know what the truth. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those lies where I'm trying to think about, why is he lying now? Because there's video proof of him talking about how proud he was to do, almost like he was proud to take a stance against like YouTubers who were trying to say bad and mean things about him and who were crossing the line. Remember, he had that whole speech about, you can criticize my podcast, thank you for your permission. You can criticize my comedy, thank you for permission. You can criticize my MMA picks, but don't come after my family. Cool. If that's the case, then why are you now pretending like you weren't involved? if it was such like a moral, principled thing that you were doing, crusade against these evil YouTubers who were trying to break up your family, why are you now pretending like you weren't involved in it? Why are you now suddenly, oh, I don't know what's going on, I don't associate with those people, they're not my people? It's like, huh? I don't know. This guy's a confusing dude. Very, very, very confusing dude. By the way, Papa Schaub looks more like Jay, innit, than Brendan, doesn't he? Papa Schaub looks more like Jay than Brendan. But they definitely have a thing in their family where their faces look like they're wearing masks, innit? Not to be offensive and shit, but Papa Schaub looks like he's wearing a mask or somebody else. Like he's got like one of those masks that you tuck in under your shirt. So does Brendan. They've got that. They just got loads of extra meat. Their faces all have the extra, you know. You know what I mean? Doesn't Papa Schaub look like he's wearing like one of those like things you put on? They've got the extra, you know, extra face meat. They've all got extra face meat in that family. Extra face meat brothers. But yeah, what are you gonna do? What can you do? Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Why not? There we go. Great reference. Mission Impossible face. Great fucking reference. Yes, exactly. Fair play. Fair play. Fair play. Or Kanye in Berlin face. That's what he's got. He's got Kanye West Berlin mask. This is one of the epic eras of that's Papa Schaub. That's Papa Schaub, innit? Kanye in Berlin. Do you guys remember that era? Where he was walking around the streets of Berlin. Honestly, I love Kanye, man. He's my fucking guy. Imagine him just walking around Berlin like this. Just being a tourist, just hanging around. I fucking love Kanye, man. Honestly, he's such a fucking G. It's like, what are you doing? Especially this one. Doesn't he look like a... What is this? Is this like... This is where you know Kanye is kind of horny, innit? Not kinda, but he is very horny because... What is this particular mask? This is like a sex doll. This one in particular. No? That is like a woman. What is this one about? This looks kind of like... Was Kanye fucking that or something? Yeah, good point. White chicks, yeah. There's no, he doesn't, funny enough, he doesn't have any, Kanye doesn't have any masks of fucking black women, does he? Hey? That's funny, isn't it? There's no mask of a black lady there. No black lady mask. I wonder why. Cool. I got a couple more I got to play. Then I'm gonna bounce, my friends. Yeah, this is gone. You see this one? Bobby's a great guy.
Drama. Like Bobby.
So this is a great clip. Bigger person find a kid who uploaded this. This is a fantastic clip because I remember saying it during the stream that Brendan did used to say a lot that that Bobby Lee was one of his best friends and his best friends in comedy. He helped him settle in. He was one of the only comedians that didn't dunk on him and that was nice to him when he first got in because he jumped a few steps because of his friends with Rogan and all the athlete stuff and shit. So it's funny when in the stream that we did or in the episode number 1000, Brendan was like, oh no, me and Bobby were never friends. That was more Brian's friend, which is actually a cunty thing to say because he basically got Brian in trouble with Bobby to the point where Bobby Lee has basically cut off Brian and they're no longer friends anymore. And it's like, so he wasn't actually your friend, but then you made him crash out in defense of you, and now he doesn't have him as a friend anymore, and you don't give a fuck because he wasn't your friend in the first place. Yeah, great guy, never met him. Great guy, never met him.
There's no drama. Like Bobby Lee is one of my closest friends. Me and Bobby talk all. No one's been more supportive when I started than Bobby Lee, dude.
Really?
Besides Rogan and Callan DeLeon, like nobody's been more supportive.
So real quick, Brian's closer with. He's always been closer with Bobby than I was. Like me and Bobby didn't talk like weekly or even monthly. If I saw him at the store, we're always cool.
Yeah.
But It's not like if I tell you, which is the truth, I don't talk to Bobby. I didn't talk to him before any of this. So there's no falling out. We were never that close. Yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense. No. It doesn't make sense.
He also has the most viral podcast clip with us of all time.
Yeah. I mean, he's amazing.
Him getting molested is the funniest story
Bobby.
ever.
I miss.
So yeah, Brendan made Brian Callen lose his friendship with Bobby Lee over a drama that he created because he tried to fuck Kalila, which was Bobby Lee's girlfriend at the time, and then he obviously lied about it or whatever. And then Brian Callen, in an effort to defend his friend, crashed out, and now Brian Callen's ostracized, has limited comedy gigs, no real friends in comedy anymore. Brendan quit comedy and doesn't seem to care. Amazing. Anyways, my friends, that's me out. That's my time. I have to bounce and get ready for the rest of the day, rest of the weekend. So thank you for tuning in, my people. It's a quick little sharp in your head one for the time being. Everyone's still digesting the other streams and the other bits of content, so make sure you jump over to the live section of my page and check out all the other bits and bobs I've got there. Yeah, man, so check that out. And then I think I'll be back on Sunday or Monday, so don't wait up for me this weekend if you're thinking to see me. I'll probably be back on Sunday, Monday, probably likely Monday. I'll be back again streaming as per normal. But yeah, man, enjoy whatever is going to be. I think I'll have some clips that I'll be dropping from the stream, obviously. Nothing you haven't seen already, but there'll be some clips uploaded on the, on the page soon. I'll have a Patreon video out as well on the Sunday. So if you're on the Patreon, join that if you haven't already. It's $1 per month, so join that. Other tiers are there, but join it for $1. I'll have a Patreon video end of the week. But streams will be back as per usual on Sunday. There'll be a Taz going out later today, I think, actually. I'll get that scheduled. So yeah, man, check out Taz, check out Random Show, easy peasy. Links in the description, all that good stuff. Links on my page, you know where to find it. Like the stream, of course, that'd be greatly appreciated. Give me a little likey down below. Don't be fucking tight, my friends. Likey. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Okay? Cool. Peace out. Later.